Hi everybody, it's Claire back with another art journal video, and in this one I'm playing with some new cuttables from Natalie May Scrapbooking. They are like gods and goddesses, really bright and colourful, lots and lots of fun. So I'm starting off playing in the white Dina Wakley journal, and I'm doing a little bit of heat embossing first, so that will act as a resist when I use the Lindy's on the page. So I've used my circle marks stamp. I do have some of those available on my website. And then I'm going in with some Lindy's Magicals. So these are the flat Magicals. I'm just grabbing the box so that I can tell you what the colours are. These ones. So that first one that I've used there is, I'm pretty sure it's rock purple, pop rock purple, and then the blue is tilt-a-wheel teal. They are so much fun to work with, and just play with them like watercolours when you use them like this. It's really nice. And then I am going to use Sparkling Sunset. And I'm just dipping a wet brush into the pigment powder and then pulling it onto my page. And you can see that where the embossing is, it's resisting the colour, which is a really nice way to get some marks onto your page before you start. It means that when you start adding your colour, you've got that layer of interest there already. And then I am using Orange Creamsicle at the bottom. Sorry, that's just off camera, but I'm literally just pulling that down at the bottom of the page. And I'm letting the colours bleed into each other as well. And then here I'm just pulling that again, that was pink, so that was Raspberry Lemonade. I've pulled a bit of that into the purple at the top as well. So I'm kind of wanting these colours to almost act like a bit of a rainbow, but a kind of very wishy-washy, floating into one another's colours on the page. So I've left that kind of calm area over on the right hand side. So this is a stencil also from Natalie May Scrapbooking, and it is called hang on, sorry, dearie me, it's called Don't Overthink. That's a great name, isn't it? And I'm using permanent red violet light through that. So this background is starting to look quite busy now because I've got the white heat embossing, and then I've got this pattern coming in over the top. This is another Natalie May stencil called Cool Marks, and I'm just pulling a little bit of black through there. So I'm starting to build up some contrast on my page as well. So this is the sheet, which has got lots of pictures of cool goddesses on there and some words as well. So these come on like a really nice cardstock, so they're quite sturdy. It's definitely not a collage paper in the sense of it's like a rice paper. It's this is more of a heavyweight card. So I'm going to be sticking that image down there, kind of working out where that needs to go, keeping it over where the page is a little bit calmer, because that the page is quite bold and bright, and the image is quite bold and bright too. I didn't want them to compete too much with each other. And then I thought, okay, so I will just calm that down a little bit around the edge, almost kind of giving that image a bit of a halo, creating that sort of slightly calmer space for the image to go. And although the Lindy's may well activate through the paint a little bit, it still creates a bit of a calmer space. So this is my Shoot for the Stars stamp. And I'm just adding a little bit of text stamping on there as well. I very rarely use the whole stamp. I often just use a little portion of it just to pop a bit of text stamping on there. And then I'm just carefully drawing around this image using a Stabilo all pencil just on one side. And then I'm going to water activate it. Now what sometimes I find is that even though I don't press on hard, that's quite a hard line there. So if you just keep brushing over it, it will soften and spread out a little bit, and then you can blot it with a piece of tissue as well, and it will just lift some of the excess off the page too. So now I'm going to stick that word onto my page, and then I'm going to write my quote around it. So this ended up being a page where I kind of played around with letters and patterns and colour quite a lot. But it's sometimes fun just to have a little play and let loose with things like that, and just not worry too much about the outcome. I definitely think it was much easier to read in person than the video has picked up, but it was fun. It was fun to create. It was definitely a very busy, very bright, very colourful page when it was finished. But I enjoyed it, and that's what it's about. So I'd started writing the words, and then I decided that I would pop some lines on my page as well, kind of to act as a bit of a guide, but also, I don't know, sometimes it's quite nice just to have that kind of guidance as to where you're going to be writing. And I think it just kind of works. You can make your lines different sizes so that they're thin at one end and thicker at the other, and then you make your letters touch the top and bottom of the line, and you create that kind of difference in your writing. It kind of flows more across your page. So working my way along, I keep checking all the time that I'm going to be able to fit in everything that I want to write, because as you know, I've had that thing happen where you can nearly get to the end and then lo and behold you've got not enough room to finish getting all your words in. You got a bit of a problem then. So on some of the words I'm just going back and making them a little bit bolder and a bit thicker. And here you can see, oh yeah, starting to run out of space, and I'm thinking, oh, okay. But one thing that I've kind of realised recently is even if my writing goes over onto the image that I've popped on my page, it doesn't matter. It really doesn't matter. I'm not going to disappear it completely. It's only going to be a little bit on the bottom there. And that's okay. Like that. She's still there. You can still see her. Yeah, that's okay. So just spending a bit of time making the letters as thick as I want them to be before I start adding in more colour and more detail. So then I'm outlining the words using a white Posca pen. And I'm outlining the whole of the letters, not just adding in a drop shadow, which I often do. And this has the effect of just pushing those letters back a little bit, I think. Definitely, it doesn't pull them forward. They are very, very bold when they're just in black. This, I feel, definitely calms them and pushes them away. And that's okay, although I would say that on this busy background, they were maybe more of a focal point when they were in the foreground, but I didn't really want them to be a focal point. So by doing this, I can just push them back a little bit. And then I was able to have a little bit of fun with adding different colours of dots and things onto the letters, and just playing with the look of them, almost like adding bright lights onto those letters. So I'm just going to use lots of different colours of Posca pen and just work with more colour on the page, because there's not enough there already, is there, really? So this was lots of fun to create, using the resist technique for the first layer on the background, and then the Lindy's, and then some stenciling and a collage image, and playing and having lots of fun with the text and adding different colours onto there. Lots of fun to play with those. So thanks for watching. I hope you've enjoyed the video and found some inspiration, and I hope to see you again soon.